So the question now on a lot of minds, what comes next in this case?
CBS 2's Alice Gaynor here now with more on that. Alice.
So over the next few months, motions will be filed, they'll be responded to, and then everyone will be back in court. So now that former President Trump has been arraigned, here's the schedule agreed upon in court.
Prosecutors will turn over discovery to the defense within 65 days of the arraignment, so by about mid-June, they should have the materials. August 8th, motions must be filed by the defense. The prosecution's response must be done by September 19th. The judge will rule on the motions December 4th. That's when former President Trump is expected to be in the courtroom next, but will he be there? Defense attorneys told the judge they may ask to waive his appearance. Having President Trump in this courtroom today is extraordinarily burdensome and expensive on the city. Prosecutors said their preference is to have a defendant in court, but acknowledged the burden and said they would defer to the judge's decision. The judge responded, "There is no question this was a huge undertaking today for everyone involved. But in the same way, I expect all other defendants to appear in court, even high-profile defendants, and I agree we wish we could avoid all these logistical challenges. I think in the interest of transparency and assuring the rules of law even-handedly, at this time I'm going to deny your application." He did say if a reason was to come up where Mr. Trump could not appear on that date, attorneys could run that by him and make a later application. As for potential prosecution witnesses, people mentioned in the statement of facts, Stormy Daniels is one. Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer and fixer, is another.
I don't want to get into what my future testimony or what the testimony that I provided to the grand jury. I stand by the statements of fact that exist in this document.
The Trump Organization's former CFO, Allen Weisselberg, is currently behind bars. He testified for the prosecution in the Trump Organization tax fraud trial this past fall. Defense attorney Joe Tacopina was adamant on CBS Mornings that Weisselberg won't be a witness.
His word doesn't, necessarily need to testify, because they've got documents showing him in furtherance of this scheme. So he's not exactly helpful to your client in that regard.
Yeah. No, he's exactly helpful to our client in that regard, because there is no scheme and there is no crime.
Well, that, of course, will be up to a jury to decide. Prosecutors said they were thinking of a January 2024 trial, but the defense shot back that was premature. They think a spring 2024 trial would be more likely. The judge says the court wants to move ahead as expeditiously as possible without undue delay. Maurice and Christine.
We'll see. Alice, thank you.
Thank you, Alice. And do stay with CBS 2 and CBS News New York for continuing coverage of this story. You can find expert analysis on the full unsealed indictment at cbsnewyork.com.